Hello, and welcome. I hope I am live and everyone can see me. I am using a new tool, and I'm going to take just a second and pull up my page here and see if I can see myself with my volume all the way down. Yes. All right. So we are live. Welcome. I will be going live again every week like I used to do. So if you followed me for a little while, you know I went live every Thursday afternoon for like 2 years or maybe longer, and then took a little break after the pandemic. And while I was dealing with breast cancer and surgeries and other things, I still have a couple of surgeries, but I'm in the home stretch on all of that. So I'm super happy to be back and diving back into near and dear, my first love, Facebook marketing. So again, if you've been here a while, maybe that's how you got to know me. And let me introduce myself really quickly. I'm Penny Kelly. I founded Marketing Profit School back in 2014, and it has evolved over the years into really what I wish I had found when I first came in, or maybe not when I first came in, because a lot of our programs are really not for absolute beginners. But when you have an idea and you have a product and you have an offer and you're just not getting the traction that you know you need to get to the next level in your business, or you know that your coaching or your product or your program really does work and it helps people achieve what it promises, it helps them with that transformation, but you're not able to get the leads or make the sales that you need to grow your business. That's what I'm here for. So that is literally what we do all day, every day at Marketing Profit School. So today, I am specifically dialing in to Facebook marketing, kind of what's going on right now. I've had a couple of reels up from a YouTube video I did a couple of weeks ago on this, and I wanted to hop in and let the first page sort of go back into that foundation with that Facebook marketing. And I have something really cool that I'm very excited about that I'll talk about a little bit later on. Some of the tips that I talked about on that live on YouTube were just sort of back to the basics. If you're running paid ads, most of the ad platforms, especially Facebook, are really pushing people into this notion of follow the AIDA formula, where they have awareness, then they have interest, then they make a decision, and then they take action. And there are several different words for that last DNA, but it's usually decision and action. And so what we're thinking of is getting our content out in front of people and having them self-select, have them raise their hand, and then continue to show them content based on how they behave and what their behavior tells you they're interested in. Now, there are a lot of different ways you can do this. And I do want to give a caveat there, because a lot of my friends and colleagues still have a great amount of success running ads to cold traffic directly to a purchase. That absolutely does still work. However, you have to train your pixel on what your buyers look like. So if you're starting cold, you may do some investment spending up front while you're training your pixel. You may have some that it's just really hard to get traction. However, if you have really good content, you have a really good persuasive language, and you're doing the job of helping them self-qualify or disqualify as they're going through your ad copy or your video, then you are going to get buyers with that. And I'm talking like something under $97, ideally under $50, that kind of thing. You ideally want to have a budget that's about 3 times what your target CPA is, cost per acquisition, to get those going. So for a lot of people, that's going to be, at least say $100 a day to really get traction with those if you don't have your pixel well trained. That's if you have an SLO, a self-liquidating offer, where you're really just looking for that first purchase to pay for traffic. You're not really looking for profits from that first purchase because you have something on the back end that you're offering people. When you are doing that, you're going to have to train your pixel to what buyers look like. You also want to train your pixel to what leads look like. So an easy way to get going, especially if you're on a budget, get your pixel on all your pages and sites wherever you're sending traffic or getting traffic, make sure your pixel is there. Make sure your Google Analytics is there. Your Google ad tracking, if you're running Google ads too, or if you want to in the future, go ahead and get all of your traffic and use organic to get started. Maybe run a few ads for video views to build a warm audience or to get traffic to something free that people can opt into. So you start training your pixel and then training the algorithm as to what your people look like. And the AI is getting smarter and smarter. It can absolutely help you do this better. What we do know for sure, and what gets proven time and again, and look, there are people with big ad budgets that do nothing but ads, that really don't do organic content, and they make money hand over fist, do a great job in their business, do a great job delivering what they promise, and all of those things. So I am talking to the coaches, consultants, freelancers who were in that, say, 50K to 250 range of annual income. Maybe you're making the $3,000-5,000 a month up to, say, 25-30 a month, or between 20 and 30 a month. And you have a business, your business is profitable, but you don't understand ads well enough to just jump into $3,000-5,000 a month on an ad spend when you aren't sure what you're doing. And want to move a little slower. You want to sort of take baby steps in the process. That is generally what I help clients do. I have a combination done for you, done with you program called Ace Your Ads, where it's actually a 6-month engagement. If you're making at least 150, 200 in your business, and you're really looking to scale beyond 20K months, because that tends 100K, 8 to 10, 12,000 a month, that tends to be a ceiling. And then the next one is around that 20, 25K a month, where people just have trouble breaking through to that next level, because it does require that you do some things differently in your business operations and in your marketing operations. So for those who are stuck in that place, then starting with ads that are getting leads, ads that are getting video views. And there are a few other things you can look at doing, but you want to sort of really focus on that top of the funnel, bringing them from the top of the funnel to the middle of the funnel. Then retargeting ads can help you make sales, or it's your email, you're getting people on a call, you have something else in your marketing system on the back end that you can put that together with. So it just depends on how much you have already in the way of automations and systems as to what would need to be built to get all that working better for you. Or if it's all good to go and you just need to add more traffic to it, then that's a super easy solution. You just need to dial in your messaging on the front end, make sure the right people are coming into your top of funnel, and turn on the gas or squeeze on the lighter fluid, whatever you're doing. And then it's all going to work better for you. So that is just the paid model of what can work. Now, let's talk about being a person, being like a real person and talking to real people, because that's what a lot of people miss, I think, when you jump into this. I'm going to have a funnel and it's all going to be automated and I'm going to make money while I'm sleeping. Yeah. And 98% of that money that comes in overnight when you're sleeping is from activities that you've done in the last 24 hours, 7 days, 90 days, where it is a compound effect of people seeing you, coming to trust you. Know, like, trust is still reality. The truth of the matter is that consumer sentiment is a lot lower these days than it was back in, say, 2018 or 2019, because of the pandemic, because of a lot of the things that went on in sales and marketing and business in the pandemic, and prices went crazy and supply chain and all that. So remember that we are people selling to other people. Ultimately, people do business with other people. They don't do business with companies. So you want to make a genuine connection. And I'm a big Seth Godin fan, and Seth talks about this in virtually all of his books. And really, since the early 2000s, he's talked about the connection economy and the importance of making connections with people and being a real human when you're talking to people, so that you can make a genuine connection with them. And that is ultimately what you want to do. So you want to make sure the automations you put in place in your business, the systems and automation are there to free up your time on the places where it matters in your business. So that means if you're doing a Facebook lead ad and it's pulling leads into your CRM, or maybe it's just pulling them into a spreadsheet and you're copying them over manually or what have you, you're still going to segment your list in a way so that you know, like in my list, I work to know, is this person looking to get more leads, more sales? Do they need systems? Are they looking to scale? What is it that they're looking for next in their business? And how can I help them get there, whether or not they want to buy something from me or join a program? How can I be of service to the people that are in my community and in my audience, whether or not they're on my buyer list, right? And so I think when we approach it that way of, truly that kind of servant leadership and being a leader, talking about your expertise, showing up, being a leader in the way that you talk with people, in the way that you share your expertise, the way that you give advice, you are an expert in your business or you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. So wear that like the badge of honor that it is, because you've probably put in well past your 10,000 hours to become a master at something. I've been doing Facebook ads and teaching other people to do them since 2014. So it's 9 years now. I'm well past my 10,000 hours. I spent 20 years in sales and a little bit of marketing before that, and leadership and running teams. So these are all things I've done. What I teach is what I have done, either in a corporate setting or in an online business setting, building sales teams, helping people convert sales on high ticket offers into masterminds and things like that. These Facebook marketing strategies and tactics do still work. You need to slow your roll, make connections with people, use the platform in the way the platform wants you to use it. So this is a big thing that a lot of people don't pay attention to. And I'm talking specifically about the Facebook platform right now. This applies to all social media platforms. What does the platform want? The platform wants people to stay on the platform so they get more ad revenue. So connecting with people on the platform and figuring out what your hub is and where you want to connect with people. I have messenger conversations on Facebook. I have DM conversations in Instagram. I have DM conversations in LinkedIn. I do reply to comments on my YouTube channel so that I know those people, wherever they're finding me, I'm going to have a conversation with them on that platform and help engage with them on that platform before I get them to go off of that platform. And then ideally, I'm going to continue engaging with them on that platform where they found me or where they're already spending time. So that's part of knowing your audience and understanding where they are already, connecting with them where they are. That's really part of that whole meet them where they are, right? That includes the platform they're already hanging out on. How do you connect with your ideal people? Part of that is knowing where they already spend time, connecting with them there. And it can be easy if it's also the place where you already spend time, where you spend most of your time. If you already spend most of your time somewhere else, then you may need to split your time so that you're spending more time in the places where they are than you are right now. So that's just one idea, right? So we want to think about ads and automation at top of funnel, retargeting middle and bottom of funnel, making real connections with people, having sales conversations with people is like the last conversation you have. How can I help you? What's going on in your business? What's working for you right now? What do you need help with right now? Those kind of things, without jumping immediately to a sales conversation, is a much normal way. You think of social media as like you bump into somebody at a backyard barbecue. You're not going to walk up to somebody in your neighbor's backyard and go, "Hey, I've got this thing. Do you want to know how I can help you?" You're just not going to do that. That's gross and weird and icky, right? So you're going to have a conversation and kind of get to know them and see if you can help them before you talk about sales. And look, if somebody reaches out and says, "Hey, I want to know about your business," even then, I typically go, hey, were you interested in something specific, or did you just want to see if like we have some similarities and we could network? Be clear about your intentions when you're reaching out and talking to people, and get some clarification on their intentions, because I know we all get like the cold DM spam crap. Like I get 50 a day, probably. It's insane, right? And don't be like that. Be a real person, make real connections, and get the elements in place that can help you grow faster in your business. So what that might look like, you're going to do some ads to videos or some ads to promote your best content, all keeping people on the platform, engagement with your content on the platform. Then you can retarget those people with some kind of lead generation or watching a longer video that is more of a conversion video to get them to take an action, whether that's becoming a lead or buying something, whatever it is, right? So these are the things that will help it work easier for you. The biggest thing is people think copywriting doesn't matter. It does. And you get good. Look, there's a lot of AI tools to help us now, right? We've got Jasper, we've got ChatGPT, we've got loads of other AI tools to help write your ad copy. Just make sure it still sounds like your voice and it still sounds like the way you speak to people. You want your ad copy to be conversational. You want it to be written for like a fifth grader and fifth to eighth grader, depending on your product, maybe an eighth or ninth grader if you're super high-end professional product. But you still want it to be very easy to understand. If you've read Donald Miller's book about building a story brand, he talks about using the brain calories, right? You don't want them to have to use too much brain power to interpret what you're saying in your advertising and in your marketing. You want it to be very easy to consume the information and to understand what your point is, so that they can move on to the next thing and spend their energy on the next thing, instead of on the basic foundational, just getting started stuff. So think about that when you're writing as well, or when you're video scripting or whatever it is. Video is still super important. So let's talk a little bit about your organic efforts. Facebook and Instagram are really still vying for Reels, for short form videos. They want to compete with TikTok in that realm. We'll see what the future of TikTok is politically and all those things. It's not in our control, so I don't pay attention to it unless a headline comes out. And as much as I've told myself over the last year that I should do TikTok, I haven't yet. So I'm not sure if I will. We'll see. I am doing a little bit more with Reels on both Instagram and Facebook, and stories as well as just the normal newsfeed things. You do not have to post 8 or 10 times a day. Like, this is not 2015 where you need the same frequency on Facebook or Instagram as you do on, say, Twitter, right? Twitter is like a nanosecond of attention span, and things do live a little bit longer, especially the Reels will get visibility longer. And stories, we know, have an expiration, but you can add them to your highlights if they're important. And there are a ton of social media tools now that you can use to schedule your content that'll actually recycle. I would say a little bit of caution with that is make sure you're not sending out the same thing like every week or two. You want to make sure that you're going at least 30 days between when it comes out, if at all possible. I like getting them on like a 60 or 90 day if I can, but if you can't do that, then at least 30 days in between, so it doesn't feel repetitive to your audience. People are online at different times of the day. Someone who sees a post today, if you post that same thing in 10 days, they may or may not see that. So I wouldn't be too overly concerned with it, but you do want to understand that being super repetitive has an impact on the algorithm as well. So you do want to have original content coming out. You want to have new content coming out. I firmly believe in that one anchor piece of content per week. I'm going to go back to doing this live show like I used to do. Right now, I'm doing it on Tuesday mornings. As we get more people watching or watching the replays, I'll probably put a little poll out and say, hey, would you rather like Tuesday mornings or afternoon? Which time span? Plus seeing like where people are coming in from, and is this time frame good for the time zones I'm getting? Am I getting mostly North America? Am I getting a little bit of international? What's going on with that? So I will pay attention to all those things going forward. It may or may not remain at this 10 a.m. time, but for right now, that's what it is. And with the organic, the cool thing is with all the tools we have, there are a lot of cool tools that use AI to help you either completely automate or partially automate some of the tasks in creating your content so that you can do one long form, especially if video is your long form content, whether it's YouTube, a produced video that you're editing and putting on YouTube, or whether it is a live video here or on YouTube or on IGTV or on LinkedIn or wherever you go live, or on YouTube, whatever. So wherever you're putting those videos, taking that video and then taking the core elements of that, turning it into a blog post, taking some of it and doing a few quote cards, doing some other posts and some shorter form videos with it as well. Those are all great ways to get your content out to more people and disseminate it in a way that the platform's going to give it more visibility, because you're sharing tidbits of it in the ways that the platform wants you to be using it. So think of it as, I'm going to come in and I'm only going to use the news feed, but Facebook really wants us to do reels and stories and messenger. So if I'm doing reels and stories and messenger, my news feed is actually going to get a little more juice. Just like when you get backlinks to your website, it helps you with SEO juice, right? So same thing here. When we use the platform in the ways the platform is asking us to use it, like playing that game, right? Because we don't own the platform. Facebook owns the platform. Instagram owns the platform. Meta owns both of those. Google owns YouTube. So when we are using the platform in ways that the platform wants us to use it, we're going to get rewarded. And it may not be obvious immediately, but over time, it will be obvious. If you're in a client-based business, you are likely in close to a 90-day sales cycle. And I don't mean from the time someone becomes a lead until the time that they buy, but from the time someone becomes aware of you to the time they're ready to buy can take up to 90 days. It can take way longer than that. Some people don't make decisions that quickly, right? We have some systems that can help you take people from awareness to buyer in hours or days, because you're saying the right things to help them know, yes, this will work for them. Yes, it has worked for other people. Yes, they can trust you. And those are the boxes they kind of need to mentally check in order to be ready to buy. And it depends on how big the investment is as well. Especially for lower ticket items, you can turn around those sales a lot faster with the right marketing. But in general, if you're just posting in groups and doing normal social media content, the activities you're doing today are building your pipeline for the sales you're going to close in 90 days. And you can start shortening that to 60 days and 30 days and even shorter. And then it's a great surprise when somebody's been following you for, a year and suddenly they're ready to buy something. That's really cool. But you can definitely shorten that with the right marketing. But it is something to keep in mind. I've had clients who are like, all right, I did Facebook Lives for 4 weeks in a row and nobody's buying anything. This doesn't work. I'm going to go try something else. And that's just not how any of this works. Organic marketing is a long game. So you need to keep at it. Day 60 to day 90 are the hardest days to drag yourself up and make yourself do those things every day and every week and every month. Day 60 to day 90 is where you actually start seeing the payoff when you start doing new things. So keep that in mind, because it does take time to start working. And look, the last time I was doing this, it took a year for people to start really showing up. And so the important thing to remember when you go live is it doesn't matter if 0 people are watching or 1 person is watching, because you're going to send out that replay to your email list. You're going to talk about that replay and send people back to it from conversations and comments and things of that nature. So keep at it. Keep driving traffic back to that content to get your organic reach up on the page, and do it from your page, not your profile, because your page is where your business lives. And that brings me to professional mode on your profile. I think professional mode is there for influencers and creators who maybe don't have a business page, or that was the original intention. So it has insights, it has some business type tools available. I still have my professional mode turned on. I know some people that got it and then got rid of it. I'm leaving it on for now because I think that more cool things are coming for professional mode. So I'm going to be cautiously optimistic and wait and see. I think if you have a business page, it's not that big of a deal if you switch or if you don't. I will keep you posted if I change my mind on that. For right now, I'm going to leave mine on and see what it does and just keep going with it. I think for me, my biggest frustration to do things, I don't care for that. And that's not a professional mode thing. That's just some of the new things that Facebook is doing with the new pages experience to just log in as me and going and doing all it, because I have to switch to client pages to do things in their pages and that kind of stuff too. So that's a little frustrating. But again, we don't own the platform. We just get to play with it. So that's the way it is. Now, I told you I also had something cool to talk about. So yesterday was my birthday, and I like doing some kind of birthday offer, sale, flash sale, something. Quite a few of my students and clients who've learned Facebook ads from me over the years have been asking for probably more than a year now for something to keep up with the Facebook ads, sort of get periodic help, but not have another big course or a year-long coaching or something like that. So I am super excited to tell you about a brand new program I am rolling out this week for my birthday. And it is called, plain and simple, the Traffic Club. And on the Traffic Club, we are going to meet live on the second Wednesday of every month at 1 p.m. Central. The calls will be recorded. There will be a membership, a course area inside Kajabi where you have access to all the past calls and all those things. There will be a Facebook group. And right now, there's just 2 offer pages on Kajabi. There's not even a sales page yet because I just built them this morning. And so the Traffic Club is $35 a month, or you get 3 months free, and it's $315 for a whole year. So I would love to have you check that out. If you have questions about it at all, the goal on our monthly call is to answer questions and help you get your traffic working better. We will talk a little bit about organic, and it'll focus primarily on paid, but I do want to really encourage everyone who's running paid traffic to also have an organic content plan in place that they're executing on a weekly basis, because that will help keep your ad prices down. When we play by the rules of the platform, it helps us get the better results at better prices. So that is just a fact. And I've tested it a whole bunch of times because I've gotten too reliant on ads a lot of times myself, and my ad costs are always better when I also am running organic posting and keeping that content out there. So it is going to be focused on a blend of organic and paid. And our calls are going to focus a bit more on paid, getting your paid traffic working better, getting your cost per acquisition down or cost per new buyer, getting your cost per lead down if that's something that you need to do, and focusing on, like, what are you optimizing for? If you're optimizing for happy clients, then you may want to pay a little bit more for the leads coming in so they're higher quality. So just looking at how do you look at things and how do you process what your goals are and how that affects the strategies and the tactics that you're applying in your business when it pertains to your traffic. That's what it's all about. So I'm very excited about the Traffic Club, and you can check it out at marketing.com/club. That's where you can get the information. That'll take you to the monthly page. And then on that page, there's a link to check out the annual if you want to check that one out. So I'd love to see you in the club to join me for those calls. Our first call will be on Tuesday, May 9th at 1 p.m. Central. So I would love to have you there. And I will see you here next week at 10 a.m. Central. And you can check us out at marketing.com or here on my Facebook page, which is also Marketing Profit School. That is the same handle for Instagram and the LinkedIn page and my YouTube channel. Or Penny Kelly it's Meet Penny Kelly on Facebook and Penny Smith Kelly on LinkedIn. So that's it. Come find me. Let's connect on social. Send me a DM if you want information about a coaching program or something higher. And check out the Traffic Club at marketing.com/club, or I'll drop that link in the comments below the video as well. See you next time.